From Columbus, Ohio, it's time yet again for Not Another Jimmy Late Night Show with special guests, founder of Roosevelt Coffee House and social entrepreneur, Kenny Sipes. Columbus City Schools Technology and Music Teacher of the Year, Ryan Van Bibber. With improv performances by Belated Hello and the Slumberjacks. With musical guest, Marty Locks. And now, your host, Jim Manelli. Keep it going, everybody!
For such a huge turnout, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is the most people we've had in the crowd for Not Another Jimmy Late Night Show. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. It means a lot. Jim? Oh, stop it. But it means a lot that you're coming out to support some awesome local comedy. And if you haven't seen our show before, we basically do the same thing as any other late night show, but it's all Ohio and Columbus focused. So we got local celebrities. I know, I'm just as excited as you. We got awesome local celebrities, local comedians, and we finished with a local musical guest, so we've got an excellent show. But in typical late night fashion, we always like to start off with a monologue. So are you all ready for this? So earlier this week, the owner of the iconic Longaberger Basket Building in Newark, Ohio, had a lawsuit filed against them because they went back on their word to selling the building to a Florida businessman. Yeah. That's really shady, right? Yeah. Now, in the statement to press, the disgruntled businessman said, "You know, I really shouldn't have put all my eggs into one giant basket." Now, I'm good. A Cincinnati man this year has once again announced that they're going to be giving up everything except for beer this Lenten season in an effort to raise some money for charity. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Yeah. So the Cincinnati man also warned police that this includes him giving up his AA meetings, any breathalyzer tests at all, and a subpoena involving him driving his car into the Cincinnati Museum of Art. Yeah. But it's okay, it's for charity. It's for charity. It's for charity. Alcoholism for charity. Yeah. The mayor of Whitehall has announced a brand new plan to combat crime in the area. Now, when asked what makes their plan so special, Mayor Maggard said, "Our plan focuses on urban development, increasing the value of our housing, and bringing trendy new businesses to the area. And that, my friends, is the power of gentrification." Yeah, it's not my words, the mayor's words. It's the mayor's words. But if you have a problem with her plan, she did announce that the next Whitehall town hall is going to be held on her yacht. She's really in touch with the people. One of my favorite news stories, a German man has been accused of selling 90 COVID vaccine cards because he got vaccinated 90 times. Yeah. I mean, dose number 2 was painful enough for me, but 90 doses? That's insane. But the Pfizer company was so impressed with the man's trust in their vaccine that they ended up awarding him one of 5 rare golden vaccine cards that would allow him to take a tour of the factory. The president of Pfizer also said that if the German man behaved and treated their Oompa Loompas nicely, he would be awarded the title of Pfizer CEO. Unfortunately, the German man's Grandpa Joe was not available for comment. He's probably still asleep in his bed, that lazy son of a bitch. I know. Grandpa Joe sucks. NBC4 did a news story this week that really focused on each state's signature drink, and they proudly announced that Ohio State drink is the Bloody Mary. Yeah, look, Bloody Marys, they're not my favorite drink either, but it could be worse. We could have Michigan State drink, which is water with just a touch of lead. Yeah. I know. We're running on 8 years now. A former Columbus narcotics police officer owes $500,000 for their involvement with selling fentanyl and cocaine while on duty. Now, his defense attorney has come out and said that this was all just a miscommunication. You see, he was a DARE officer, and he thought that DARE was an acronym that was drugs are really easy to sell. And lastly tonight in national news, there's a new startup company called Graves that has created a landscaping robot that some people are describing as a Roomba for golf. Right? Unfortunately for the company, they have offended a lot of Italian Americans because they've announced that the robot will be named the Goomba. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the monologue, so thank you. I don't know if it's just me, but the lights are like really bright tonight. I don't know if it's... Wait a minute. It's because they're shining off of Rob Moore's bald-ass head. Oh, yeah. Hey, Rob, it's great to see you. G.I. Joe 2. Can't wait to see it. Uh-oh. Hey, Jim. Hey, Rob.
Jim, I just wanted to tell you, I don't think that joke was really funny. I know it's been really difficult for you and for me to deal with male pattern baldness, and it's been easy for you, but like, we all deal with things differently, and it'd be nice if you're a little bit more sensitive with your jokes.
Hey, yeah. You know what? I agree. And just because something's easy for me to poke fun at myself does not mean that I need to poke fun at others in the audience. In retrospect, I probably should have chosen a joke that was more tasteful and respectful of your feelings.
I really appreciate that, Jim, and honestly, like, I'm realizing right now how self-indulgent this moment is. Like, this is your monologue. Why did I come up here and think this is all about me? It's just a joke. Hey, I should have come and talked to you afterwards, like an adult would.
You know, I really appreciate that, man, and you know what? How about we finish up the show here, and I'll grab you a drink at Slammers after the show, and we can talk a little bit more about it then.
Yes. You know, I really appreciate that. You know what? You can keep my motherfucking name in your mouth.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I can't believe Rob Moore just respected the shit out of me. That was very respectful, Rob. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you guys tonight. And I am very, very excited for our first guest today. So keep the energy going. Almost as much energy as the coffee he serves to Columbus. Please give a warm welcome for Kenny Sykes. Hey! You know, I tried to find your company's theme song, but that's all I could find on Reddit, so I guess you know, it's definitely not. But Kenny, thank you for coming on the Late Night Show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get a little bit more background about Roosevelt Coffee. I know we had a little bit of a conversation before the show, and you were telling me that before you founded Roosevelt Coffee House, you were actually a youth pastor.
That's correct.
So what made you make such a drastic career change?
From there to here, huh?
Yeah.
What made me? No common sense.
No,
I mean, I literally felt restless about what I was doing. I've done some international and short-term domestic mission experiences, and I loved what we did, but felt like there was other ways to be long-term sustainable, and started to feel like I needed to leave. I've been on staff at that church for about 10 years and love what I did. Thought I was effective at what I did, and as we progressed the next couple of years, my wife pretty much sensed that I was supposed to leave. She just said, hey, if you ever need to leave the church, you don't have to come home and convince me. And I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And a couple of years later, I resigned from the church without a plan. And so the Roosevelt wasn't a plan, nonprofit wasn't a plan, what we support wasn't a plan. It just became that as we had to desperately make an idea for it. So
I mean, that is awesome. Like, just again, to completely switch gears like that, and there's a lot of times that I think I've got a plan, like for this show, and a lot of times it doesn't turn out as successful as your coffee business. So.
well, I still meet with people who have these kind of dreams, and I think they're stupid. I'm like, you don't do that, you know, but I did it.
Hey, sometimes you gotta listen to the craziness,
Sometimes it
right?
works.
Yeah. There you go. Now, you were new in the coffee game, so you had an idea to start a coffee shop, and you know, when you were coming up with the name, you really wanted the coffee house to reflect the community service of the community that you're doing. You know, you said you had a few rejected names for the coffee house. One of them was Joshua House, Hebrews, and I think the Gospel According to Frappuccino was thrown in there.
That's true. That's true.
But why did you settle on Roosevelt?
You know, I don't really feel short very often, but right now I feel very short.
Is it because my seat's in like this is not my normal seat?
I see how this works. We had a lot of great things happen to us, but one trip we made was to D.C. while we were trying to still dream this up, and like you mentioned, my pastor had cheesy answers like Hebrews, and we did the. In DC, we visited a nonprofit coffee shop to get inspired, and then we did the night trolley tour of the monuments.
Yeah.
And we got to the FDR Memorial, and it's like 13 acres or something. It's beautiful, and there's all kinds of kind of humanitarian quotes that FDR said. Okay. And and my wife's kind of having like a moment, right? Like I was a president nerd in middle school. Like I literally gave a speech every Friday in 5th grade about a president. I was that kid. And so I'm walking through the memorial with like no experience, right? It's just run of the mill. But my wife's never kind of really captured it. Yeah. And so we're driving home and she said, you should name it the Roosevelt. And I was like, what? That's not a good idea. Because it wasn't my idea. And then eventually brought it to the board, and somebody drew us some logos that were awful. But they had the Roosevelt name in it, so they looked really cool. And then after we got past the fact that the name was good, but the logo was bad, then we got to where we did this one.
Hey, you know, the hardest part is picking the name, and then you can just go, no, not this graphic artist, not this one, it's the next. So I'm glad that we've got the iconic logo that we see here today. So.
Thanks, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Speaking of Roosevelt, you know, I gotta know, who's your favorite Roosevelt? Is it FDR? Is it Eleanor? Is it Roosevelt the band? I think you're pretty partial to one of the Roosevelt presidents, so tell me a little bit more about...
There's a band called Roosevelt?
There is.
Did you just make that up?
No, there is.
Oh, okay.
I do not want to spread fake news on my show.
I don't know if I actually ended up... I probably said something about Teddy. I mean, obviously inspired by FDR, inspired by Eleanor, but when I know our anniversaries, there's actually a circuit of these. There's Teddy Roosevelt impersonators. And at our anniversary, like we'll do every April, we're not doing it this year, but we have this Teddy Roosevelt impersonator come, and it's fascinating. He's in character the whole time. So, you know, if you ask him how he is, he'll be like, well, you know, it's just like that day I gave the speech in 1927 or 1917 or whatever it is. Wow. So, yeah, there's like a whole gathering of them in South Dakota during the summer.
Really?
So they they actually act that, they stay in character the whole summer at this like Roosevelt extravaganza.
Vegas is missing out. They just have like the gathering of the Elvis impersonators. I think they need to go and see like this horde of Teddy impersonators. Yeah, that's awesome. So again, like I think one of the things I wanted to showcase during our chat here was the mission of your business, and that's something unique about your coffee company. It's a non-profit coffee house and coffee roasters. So can you briefly talk about all the charity work that you've done for our community and beyond?
because of Roosevelt.
Absolutely. So though I was talking to Ryan beforehand. I mean, the vision of the Roosevelt was actually to support organizations fighting the injustices of hunger, unclean water, and human trafficking. And coffee became ultimately the commodity for which we could possibly do that. So we're actually celebrating our 7th year this month. And April 1 was actually our 7-year anniversary. And,
Nice.
thank you. And to be honest, you know, I mean, it was a wing and a prayer. I mean, I've never done coffee, never done business, never signed a business lease, never raised, a couple $100,000 to start something like we did,
Yeah.
never ran a nonprofit. And all of those, it's interesting because one of the things that I really wanted to be quickly, and if you know, obviously most of us know that retail and restaurant don't survive in the first 5 years, and at the same time we wanted to be as authentic as we could for the mission from day one. And 3 weeks, and this is really interesting real quick, but 3 weeks into being open, we wanted to give, and they had just recently raided an Asian massage parlor that was a bunch of women who had been trafficked from China, and the Salvation Army had taken them in and started to do some work to put them in the right situations or back in home. And so their third week, we every bit of money we made that particular day, which is about $400 or $500, we gave so that those people could have culturally friendly meals while they awaited an opportunity to get back into the right situations.
Yeah, thank you.
So in 7 years, we just released an annual report, but in 7 years, this just blows my mind, but we've helped over 45,000 people. We've donated over $195,000 in 7 years.
Wow, that is awesome.
What I do want to say, come full circle, is I raised some pretty incredible kids. My oldest and her husband are fostering 3 kids, and last week they took in a 14-year-old boy from Honduras who was at the Salvation Army for being labor trafficked. And here we are 7 years later from the Roosevelt, and just to watch that some of that inspiration has landed in the laps of my kids who say, we want to have an effect, and here we can do that. So.
Kenny, that is fantastic. Well, it's great to also see, I mean, a lot of this stems from you and the quality of character of the person that what you're telling me sounds like you are. And isn't it awesome to see how just one person's idea to start giving and caring for the community can just have a tidal wave effect like this?
Awesome.
So thank you for your work. That's awesome, man. So, in preparation for the show, I grabbed a nice Roosevelt cold brew yesterday at the Old Tangy Brewing Company. I totally forgot they were partnered.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. It was really, really good. So, do you have any kind of interesting flavors or coffee trade secrets you can tell me as to why your coffee stood out from the others that are being served in the city right now?
I hired a hell of a roaster. So I've got I have the Mr. Rogers of coffee that works for me. He's the happiest, most optimistic man I've ever met in my life. And he we
Does
actually
he have puppets when he roasts too?
a little bit. He does. He has his own. He bought this little $20 soundboard that connects to his Mac. And so in our huge warehouse, when anybody comes in, if the DoorDash guy comes in, he's got an applause track for the guy walking in the room. So he's that kind of guy. He wants to make everybody feel important.
Oh, that's awesome.
That doesn't answer your question. I mean, our cold brew process is pretty unique. So it's I don't even know how to explain it well, but it's brewed hot, and then we enter nitrogen into it just for a certain period of time, about less than 10 minutes. We release the nitrogen, and then we refrigerate it for about an hour, and then it becomes a concentrate. But it's really unique, and Frank ended up doing that based upon an experience that he had in Oakland with a company we worked with, and then he eventually made his own. And honestly, right now we're working with Frank to potentially help him launch an LLC to have cold brew in his name, so that he can actually make a living on his own creation.
Nice. Frank Rogers, Neighborhood Coffee, right? Yeah. Well, you have to give him some real special soundboard sounds or a standing ovation when he gets his license and starts releasing his own coffee. So as owner of a coffee house, I got to ask you, how much coffee do you think you could personally handle before your heart explodes? Like a gallon? Like 2 gallons?
No, I was gonna say you made me double my caffeine content to be here tonight. So that
Oh my God, I don't want to be a health risk for you.
you know what 10 o'clock? My do not disturb goes on at 10 o'clock.
Mine does too. Full disclosure, I'm usually the slumberjacks. They tell me
To
something.
tell you, I am
Don't
super
answer.
sensitive. I mean, I drink a traditional macchiato in the mornings, a shot of espresso with foam milk on top, and I mean, I feel it like the first sip. So I'm pretty limited. After 2 o'clock, I don't really go there. I took an espresso lab before we opened the shop, and it was an 8-hour espresso lab in Chicago, and we drank a lot of espresso.
Yeah.
And then I had my best friend lives there, and I hadn't seen him in years. So I drank espresso for 8 hours, and then he took me to one of those Brazilian steakhouses.
Oh,
Yeah, you can just imagine.
yeah. That just sounds like an
But I
intestinal
didn't
recipe
die of a
for
heart
disaster.
attack that day, so I must have pretty good tolerance.
That's good. That's good.
But I
That's
need
good.
caffeine.
Okay. Well, yeah. So it doesn't sound like you're kind of like you're not really like the Snoop Dogg of coffee, where you're just like drinking your product
Oh,
all the
no.
time. And going around like, okay. That's fair. I mean, I was gonna call you. Sometimes it might be hard for a KENNY in Columbus, but you know, you're not Snoop Dogg. So again, like what you talked about, just on the 1st of the month was the 7-year anniversary of your company.
Yep.
Again, thanks for coming on the show. We're excited about it.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you want to promote, or are you doing anything special for your 7-year anniversary? Like, again, you hired a bunch of Teddy Roosevelt impersonators, or are you going to have like a great big new deal for coffee or something like that?
That's good. I'm gonna use that.
Thanks, history buffs.
I'll let my social media director know on that one. That's good. She's probably too young to have any idea what you just said. Yeah, this month we are featuring, we just brought in, so back in the day we used to have a Roosevelt donut, and then the pandemic hit and we couldn't keep donuts. Donuts wouldn't stay fresh long enough, so we moved to some vegan Pop-Tarts from Happy Little Treats. So they're doing an apple cinnamon Pop-Tart all month with us, and then we have an Ethiopian coffee that we brought in that we're doing some cold brew with. It's pretty potent, pretty incredible, very fruit forward, very floral. If you haven't been, the Roosevelt's over here at Long Street and 6th, and then there's one in Franklinton, the Gravity Project. There's a licensed location inside the Olentangy River Brewing up at Lewis Center. And then if you go to our website, roosevelt.coffee, you'll actually see the first picture you'll see is of Frank, and he is focused on our Frank's Choice subscription. And then again, we put out our annual reports just to kind of communicate that we're helping everything from wells in Africa, to lamps in Africa where they can actually read at night and do schoolwork, to meals at Faith Mission, to women being rescued and given trauma therapy hours here in town. So it's all a big part of what we're trying to do is to make coffee and save lives.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Kenny Preston, everybody. Let's give him a round of applause. So as I alluded to earlier, we are going to be doing a brief improv set off that interview. So I'd like to welcome a group that's near and dear to my heart because I'm a part of them. Welcome to the stage, the Slumberjacks.
It takes a strong coffee to know I'm alive. Such a wonderful coffee to know I'm alive. And when the people are standing here now, I gotta drink this coffee and say kapow.
Here's $5.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Fred Coffee Rogers, it's so great to finally meet you.
It's great to meet you too, Mr. Macchiato.
Oh, I'm glad that I've drank so many macchiatos that it's just become a part of my identity now.
Yeah,
And
you should meet Linda Latte over here.
Hi, I'm the backup dancer.
wow, my God, Fred, you've really done it. You've hired a whole crew of people that are just so focused on coffee that we're going to take your show from public access to right to HBO. Right to HBO.
I knew starting here on Sullivan Avenue, I would have a whole lot ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking someday I'm gonna get all the way to downtown. to the west side of downtown.
That's right. And we're gonna take you there as your backup dancers.
Yeah, hit
It's
it,
a beautiful
Mr.
day to have coffee.
A beautiful day to have coffee. Will you have it with me? Will you have it with me?
Bully! I am Theodore Teddy Bear Titty Boy Roosevelt.
President Titty Boy! Oh my God, it's such an honor to meet you.
Yes, who is the fine strapping young man who makes this delectable coffee?
That's me.
Let me try it.
Here you go, Mr. President.
Hot damn! That coffee is just right.
Ooh.
Would you like to work for me, Mr. Rogers? You can roast one hell of a coffee.
I could never work with a man who swears.
I'll see you'll never be hired in this town ever again. I'll send you back to the church.
At least I'll still have my dignity.
Still has his dignity.
But now we're unemployed because he's not
I'll get
selling
you.
coffee.
Honey, welcome home.
And so I say to you, you have nothing to fear but fear itself.
I love when you say that. Oh, you know what? I've been thinking a lot about your job. You're a wonderful president. You really are.
Thank you.
But if you ever came home and you wanted to do something else and maybe quit your job or something crazy like that, I would not be opposed to it. In fact, I would support you, Mr. President.
Sounds like the fear's gotten in you. I won't quit my job until disease takes me years later. I think.
Oh, honey, it will never come to that. But, I think, I've been looking at jobs. I think you could become, a youth pastor, or you could make hot morning beverages.
Those are two of many jobs we'll be making to get us out of this incredible trouble that we're in.
Of course. But, honey, you're never home. And the kids miss
Home?
you.
There are no homes for Americans right now.
And you always take your work home with you. Sometimes I just wish you would talk to me like normal.
Honey, home and work are the same building for us.
You've changed.
Here in the
Teddy.
West Wing, I think.
You've changed. I don't think I could do this anymore.
I can stand now. It's awesome.
Here's your ticket. Thank you for coming to the Christopher Walken Impersonation Convention. We're glad to have such a bunch of great Walkens here. Oh, Charles
We've been
Walken.
looking forward so much for this convention.
Yes. It's our pleasure to be here.
Indeed, I'm glad to be a part of it.
You guys know that when we have our convention in Winnipeg, that it's a really great place to be and have all my favorite walk-ins here to have fun with me too.
The quality of life in Winnipeg is very high.
Very high.
And they have wonderful universal health care there, which is good for people like us who don't have jobs.
Because we're just, walking around.
We're walking the streets.
Why are you all talking like you got something way up your ass?
It's actually Christopher Walken!
Oh my God!
You are the one walking.
We all wish to be like you.
Can I wash myself in your glory? I'm basking in
You
your
can if you need to.
Would you
I
walk
love-
with me to show me the way of the Christopher?
Stand, my friend.
This will truly be a walk to remember.
All right, who would like to do a report today? We could do different things, like, I don't know, some Black History or,
Miss Catalyst, please, Miss Catalyst.
go ahead.
Please. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna do a report on the presidents.
Which president? Washington?
No, you know which president.
Oh, Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln, like every Friday. You know this by now, Miss Cowlett. All right, so Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president, and he had a big hat, and he had a beard, and he was not good at lying, so he didn't do it. And
Please stop. You make me want to quit my job. Every day, every time, I just, if anyone else knows anything about history and pays attention in my class, please say something else. Any of you guys?
No.
I want to learn about Pythagoras' theorem.
Can we do the turtles?
shut up.
This is the wrong class.
Shut up. Wait.
All right. So, thanks for coming to Fifth Third Savings and Loan. I've read your proposal about just quitting your job and asking for $100,000. And we usually invest in high-risk investors.
No problem with this one.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
That's what we wanted to talk to you about. I mean, like,
I want to clear the air real quick.
Yeah.
Non-profit doesn't mean we're not going to make money. It just means I think we don't keep some of it.
You're talking to the wrong person about how they know how money works, so...
Excuse me.
Oh, hi.
I'm a loan shark. I heard that you need some money.
Oh, yeah, like a couple $100,000.
West Banco? Really? You're gonna bring West Banco into my own
Hey.
bank?
It was Wells Fargo before this.
Oh, all right. You're at least stepping up from Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Hey.
All right. Hey, I'll give you $100,000 at an interest rate of only 380%.
I'll give you $1 million, and if you don't pay it back, we'll cut off your foot.
I'll give you. Boink.
I'm a lone lamprey.
And what do you charge for interest?
I'll just suck you dry.
Oh man, there's a lot of dystopian and poor people here. You know what this town needs, babe?
What?
Coffee.
Oh, hey. Hi.
Oh, a poor person.
Oh, yeah,
Perfect.
We can adopt him.
We gotta give him coffee.
Yes. Hey. Hey,
Hi.
you're Honduran, right?
See?
Yeah.
We got something for you. Something you will need.
Who's second?
Pesos?
We got one.
I got one. I got the coffee.
come on,
Got the coffee.
Yeah.
Here, drink up.
It's just beans.
Yeah. we haven't developed the company enough, but we got this.
But we have Mr. Rogers. He takes care of kids.
I have no clue who that is.
So you have so much to learn.
Oh my God, we're here to feed you so much coffee.
And knowledge.
No food? Like real food?
I mean, coffee can be food if you chew up the beans a little bit and swish it around your mouth.
We're working on the business here.
We got some stale COVID donuts.
Oh,
I'll take some
food.
Oh, they're so hard.
From Dr. Fauci himself.
Xerxes, I have come from the burning cappuccino machine to tell you to let my people roast.
I don't know. What kind of plagues are you gonna bring upon me if I don't?
I'm glad you incurred the wrath, because if you do not let my people go by midnight tonight, you will only be given blonde lattes for the rest of your lives. Minimal flavor, overly roasted. You don't want to do this.
Here's the thing, Moses. You need to get on my side and agree to the name of the coffee shop that I have been telling you. If you don't open Leviticus, it's not gonna happen.
I've seen a vision. I know where Leviticus takes me. It's not good.
It's not. It's not.
No. We become mainstream in 10 years. Then we stop caring about the flavors and we start mixing our beans, and they're non-specific from our farmers.
You'll be in every corner of every city from here to Mesopotamia.
Oh, no!
Moses,
Yes.
we've been in the desert for so long.
I know. And the only thing we've had to drink is hot coffee. Which is the worst idea we've ever had.
We can't wake up anymore. And maybe if you just
hit this rock really hard.
All right.
More coffee would come out.
Okay.
One time
God.
only. One time only, I'm telling you.
Lord in heaven, may you turn 40 days into 40 more days.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
A new prophet. Oh my God. Thank you.
Let me tell you, jabroni, you have to answer to decaf.
Hit it again. Hit it again. Hit it again. You'll never get to eating, but who cares?
Lord.
So,
I thought praying to this golden bean was gonna get us far.
he said it was a magic bean, Mom. I'm so sorry. I really thought that maybe it would cure us of our poorness. And
Here's
it's just a coffee bean.
Catherine, you tried. You tried. And now
Look.
I've brought these two people to say what's gonna happen.
Yes.
I just say it myself.
Read commandment number 3. Thou shalt not worship beans with a golden outside, specifically because it angers God to the point where he will smite you dead where you stand, specifically on a Tuesday.
Unless it's
Unless
roasted
it's
that way.
Unless it's roasted that way.
That just means.
Please.
I thought he was being figurative when he said that.
But don't you see what this means? We just have to roast it. And then.
The holy loophole.
Yes.
Let's go find a burning bush.
Boom, 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 boom. If you like to roast some beans inside of a coffee cup, if you like to drink some decaf, we have.
Honey, have you ever thought about quitting your job?
No, this VeggieTales roasted album will work.
Are we still recording or no?
Larry, just take 5, okay?
Come on, man, I need money. I'm broke.
I'm a loan shark. I got money.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Pass his interest on to me.
And that's our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Slumberjacks.
Oh, man. Nothing like 15 minutes of religion-based improv, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you. Well, for my next guest, I'm very excited to have someone who has recently won a Teacher of the Year award. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Ryan Van Bibber. Yeah. Oh, you got the hardware too. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I thought for a technology and music award, it would be like like an actual turntable.
They're working on it. The technology's not there yet.
So Ryan, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you here, especially someone with such clout winning that award. Oh man,
It's opened up all kinds of doors. Automatic, technologically advanced doors.
Every automatic door just automatically opens.
Automatically opens, whether I'm there or not. It's actually kind of a problem.
I can see your work has traveled far. So, because you're a technology and music teacher, what you do right now, you do audio production at Fort Hayes.
Yes.
And Columbus State.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your classes and what does a technology and music teacher do?
Well, so I teach at Fort Hayes Career Center, which is like very close to here, and it's part of Columbus City Schools. And it's like a totally great, unique program. There's really not another program exactly like it anywhere.
Yeah.
And the thing I like the most is that I've been working in Columbus City for 19 years now. I would never, you couldn't pay me to teach in like a suburb or something like that. That's gross. But, yeah, right? But I love being able to bring industry standard equipment, state-of-the-art hardware and software to kids in the city. My program, all the programs at Fort Hays Career Center are open to kids all over Columbus, and also Upper Arlington, Westerville, Grandview, we get their students too.
Yeah.
And so, kids come to me, they learn how to do recording, mixing, beat making, songwriting, editing, post-production, audio for video stuff. We do audio for video games, implementation. Wow. And I teach a similar sort of stripped down course at Columbus State, Audio Production 1 and 2. I teach kids how to use Pro Tools and Ableton Live and a bunch of other software. And it's like the best job in the world.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sure, as things are evolving now, we're almost entering into a SoundCloud kind of world, I guess.
Oh man, the pandemic was so great for music technology. I'm really if COVID-22 hits, I'm ready.
Oh. You might be the only person on Earth that'll be ready for another pandemic right now. No, that's awesome. It sounds like, not only are you a teacher, but you're almost like a music producer. There's a lot of cool music producers that have their own names out there, like Grandmaster Flash, Suge Knight, Beethoven. Do you have a unique producer name that you go by, like a unique alias?
So for 19 years in Columbus City Schools, I have been Mr. Van Bibber. That's what the students call me most of the time.
That makes sense.
Sometimes they call me motherfucker, but most of the time it's Mr. Van Bibber. I get along with them. And so I was kicking around for a producer name because I do my own electronic music as a hobby, right?
Yeah,
it's on SoundCloud. And I thought, why complicate matters? I'm just going to be Mr. Van Bibber. So my producer name is Mr. Van Bibber. Although on Instagram I go by the Notorious RVB.
Okay, all right. That's good. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's fresh. That's good. Is that what the kids are saying?
If you look up my SoundCloud, it's not going to be great, but it will be there.
Well, thank you for letting us know about your presence on the internet.
Yes.
So you've been teaching for 19 years.
19 years, yes.
That's a lot of time and that's a lot of students. So I got to ask you, what is the craziest thing you've seen as a teacher?
Ooh,
like the absolute craziest thing.
So Columbus City Schools is an awesome place to teach. But anytime you work in any job where you deal with the public, you're going to see a wide range of people, right, and situations. And I'll let the audience vote. Okay. Can we have an impromptu?
Yeah, sure. We'll vote by applause.
You can choose. I got two crazy student-based stories. One involves, light sexual contact between minors in a classroom setting, and the other involves a tabloid creature come to life and some abandoned buildings. So
I'm gonna vote for the audience.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Let's just go with B. I think that'll be good.
Those of you who would like the other story, I'll be in the lobby later. So Fort Hays, if you don't know, it's an old military base. It's from the Civil War. Okay, so some of the buildings, it was for the North, so yay, and yes. Yeah, I know. It's you would, that's Ohio now, you really couldn't tell, right? But back then, we were firmly on the side of the North, okay? And so there's a lot of abandoned buildings still there. It was a military base, now it's a school, but there are several buildings that still have not been renovated. They're there, and sometimes people go in them, okay? So one day, the assistant principal comes to me, it's right at the end of the school day, and she knows that one of the things I've been doing is going in these abandoned buildings. I acquired a key. It's not part of the story, but whatever. So I've explored the buildings a fair amount, and she says, Ryan, I need your help. There's a student missing, and I talked to his mom, and she said he likes to go in abandoned buildings. I said, well, why the hell did she send him here? They're everywhere. Yeah. And she says, we got to get on this golf cart. We're going to go all around the campus. We need to check every abandoned building. Now, these things are creepy as hell. I'm not going to lie. I've been in all of them. They're some of them don't have like a normal.
Have you been in a
entrances.
comforting abandoned building before, or?
It really depends on what's happening in the building.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Okay.
fair. Yeah.
So we're going, and then she shows me his picture from like our student. And have you ever seen like Bat Boy?
Yes.
Like from the tabloids? Like the,
Yes.
That's him. Like it was Bat Boy. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I can't believe I've never seen this because he's Bat Boy, and I know he's gonna be in an abandoned building, hanging upside down from a ceiling. I mean, he's gonna swoop down at me, and you know whatever. And I'm gonna be, you know, so whatever. But like I'm like committed to this now, even though I'm low key scared. So we're going around, and I'm like going in one building after another, and there's no electricity. And I got my phone flashlight, and I'm waiting for a weird kid to like pop out at any minute. And then like I have to go in this one below one of the buildings because there's like a hole big enough for a human to slither in. So I slither into it, and I'm down there, and it's like all, you know, it's crazy. Now the long story is ended out. We did not find him. He was not on the campus. I found out what happened to him like a week later. And here's Bat Boy's story. He left campus, and he got on the Coda bus, and he went downtown, and he stole a bicycle. He stole a bicycle, and he was riding around downtown, and got hit by a car. Whoa! Got hit by a car. He ended up as a John Doe in the hospital in Grant, right down there.
Oh my God.
Woke up after being unconscious for like a day and just split, okay? Like got his stuff, split. I don't know what happened next, but he showed up back at his house after with a whole thing of fish. He had been fishing on the river. I don't
The
know.
story has so many layers.
I don't know where he got a pole or expertise, but he showed up at home with a whole catch of fish, and his mom was totally fine with it because he made dinner. And that was like Tuesday. That was a Tuesday.
Wow, that truly was not disappointing at all. Man, I've never had a fishing story like that where like, oh yeah, I was unconscious and then I just found all this fish.
Right?
No.
Kid's got skills.
Yeah, he definitely does.
That's why he's at the Career Center.
Yeah. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about your award.
Oh,
so,
okay.
ladies and gentlemen, Ryan has been named Technology in Music Education's 2022 Teacher of the Year. And I gotta say that this is not only a very, very proud accomplishment, I'm also super impressed because we're only 3 months into 2022.
I know, right?
And they've already declared you Teacher of the Year. So you must be doing something right. But I gotta ask.
I'm gonna coast the rest of the year.
Yeah, well,
That's
that leads to my question is, so, you know, after winning this award in 3 months, how much has your ego swollen since winning this title?
It was pretty big to begin with, to be honest, according to all the people around me. So, you know, I've gotten a lot of positive attention. It's weird. I actually, and this is gonna maybe upset the people that gave it to me. I have a hard time with teaching awards. How do you judge if one teacher is better than another? You know, different situations. But the thing about the award is that it's given me a lot of attention, and for whatever reason, now when I tell people things, they believe me more. It's like, you won an award, and now we believe you. And I don't get that.
It's like street cred for teachers.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I lie just as much now as I did in December. But now people are willing to do it. And they flew me down to San Antonio to the Texas Music Educators Association conference. And if you can imagine, it's like 30,000 music teachers. It's like insane. And there was a presentation, and they gave me this cool plaque and a lot of Tex-Mex food on the house. And so it was a great trip. And I got on this magazine. I got an article in a magazine, and that was pretty cool. You know, it's a very niche publication.
It is great. Not only do you have an article, you were on the cover.
I was on the cover.
Hey. You were on the cover of the magazine, and contrary to popular belief, SBO does not stand for Sexiest Band Teacher in Ohio.
I believe that.
But I would believe it
that
after
title
seeing
goes to prisoner number 4268 in the Mansfield Correctional Facility.
Well, I love this. I love the story. You're on the cover of SBO, but you also told me that you were on the cover by mistake. So, whose spotlight did you steal?
So I'm not going to name the name because, like, there's a legitimate chance of legal action. So, but there was.
We can skip the question entirely.
No. I like danger. So there was supposed to be a very famous conductor, like an orchestral conductor, like someone who's actually a big deal, not like me, but somebody who's like really well known, has a weekly spot on NPR on the weekends, talks about, you know, orchestra stuff, and so that person was supposed to be on the cover, but the publicist dropped the ball, didn't get back to the magazine editor, and the guy that does the magazine is involved with the organization that gave me the award. He's the executive director. So he didn't have like a cover story or a cover, and so he messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, you want to be on the cover of a magazine?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to be on the cover of a magazine." I'm like, "Do I need to shave anything?" And he's like, "No, it's my other magazine." And I was like, "Oh, okay, perfect." And so, yeah, it worked out for the best for everyone. And so I luckily, I'm at this amazing career center. We have a bomb photography teacher there, and she has a studio already set up. She gave me headshots. I did a Zoom interview. Bada bang, there's the magazine cover.
Perfect.
And it was like Thursday to Monday, and that was it. So thank God for being in the right place at the right time, and somebody else messed up.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm glad they messed up for our benefit, though. So
Yes.
I'm happy.
Well, you know, Kenny knows the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we wrap up, I wanted to talk about a lot of the work that you're doing right now for setting up music technology education in public schools.
Oh, yeah.
You're actually one of the pioneers for these programs in the United States and in the world. So so what's like the most rewarding part of seeing all your work flourish to the global level?
I like the fact that this doesn't usually get to city kids. Like if you go all around the world and all around the U.S. and Ohio, city schools struggle. I mean, it's weird because like we have all these businesses. You can see there's like tall buildings down here and everything. You would think that we'd be like awash in property tax money. As it turns out, they pay very little. And so the city kids don't always get the opportunities, right? That the other, like, you know, wealthier school districts get. I like the fact that I can bring something to the city kids that is like so completely groundbreaking. When other people come into the space, they're like, I can't believe this is here. I can't believe this is in Columbus City Schools. And I'm like, of course it is, because they deserve it. They deserve it, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm also, it's been very fortunate to start a chapter of Beats by Girls, which is, it does carry a certain amount of irony. Beats by Girls is a global organization dedicated to empowering girls, women, and non-binary and gender-expansive youth, all of which I'm not, especially the youth part, right? And so, but that's the mission of the organization, and so I'm an ally for that, and I saw them in a bunch of different places. I talked to somebody in New York, I talked to somebody in Chicago, I talked to somebody in Berlin, and then I was like, we got to have a chapter of this here. So, you know, I went through the training and everything, and now we have this chapter, Beats by Girls at Fort Hays. We meet Tuesdays after school. If you're a girl or a woman or a gender-expansive youth, you can come and learn how to make beats and produce music with Ableton Live. And it's great. The software companies have supported us so much. And so my favorite part is just watching, you know, you teach somebody something and their face like lights up because like they understand. Like you can like watch their neurons make connections, you know? And then especially if it's something they're passionate about, like music. Like they hear all these sounds, right? But they don't know how they're made. It's hard to know like how something's made. So they hear these sounds and they're like, I show them how to make it, and they're like, "Oh, now I can use that sound." You know, that's really cool. So that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your work. This is awesome. My last question for you is: I know that Slumberjack's very own Kelsey Yapple is a member of Beats by Girls. Be honest. How was it like working with Kelsey?
Ooh, okay. She is dope. She is
Yes.
dope. Yeah, Kelsey is a slumberjack. You just saw her up here. And what you did not see is her dope music production skills and her leadership, you know, within the group. You know, she can connect with the girls in the group in a way I can't.
Yeah.
And it's just really great to have her there, and it's been like totally transformative.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Ryan, for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the notorious RBV Technology Music Teacher of the Year. Thank you, Ryan. Give him another round of applause. It's at this point, it is my pleasure to introduce our next improv group. It was a culmination of some funny improv experts. Please put your hands together for Belated Hello.
Hi, everybody. We're belated hello. Here we go. Hey, what's up? You're getting really good at that.
I'm a big deal.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Lori? When you decided to become a beatboxer,
Yeah.
did you? Where's the ceiling? Where do you want to be?
Glass ceiling. Gonna crush it.
Okay. Okay.
Just like I'm gonna crush your spirits, man.
All right. Well, I wanted to talk to you about that. I know this is a competition, okay?
Uh-huh.
But we've known each other for a very long time, and you have natural talent beatboxing, and I've worked harder to get to that level. Okay? So
Just a minute, man. You're threatened.
I'm very threatened by you.
Good.
I will admit that right now. Take it easy on me, okay?
Can't promise that.
Please.
No, man.
Okay.
All right, my name is Martin Van Pebbles. Motherfucker, if you're nasty.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love that for you.
Shut up, you haven't won an award yet. I don't have to listen to you. And you're from the suburbs. Please leave before this place stinks. I've won Teacher of the Year 5 times, 4 legitimately. I specialize in audio production and janitorial duties. You saw the puke in the hall, there is now cat litter over it. So what we're going to learn here is how you can become cool at your regular school. Because this is not a regular school, this is a technical school.
Oh.
And yes, I do not like being here either. Because I have won 5 Teacher of the Year awards. I should be a normal teacher.
Did you want me to talk?
Happy New Year! Oh my God! This year is so bright, so shiny, we're gonna accomplish so much.
Yes! I signed us up for a class.
Oh my God, what class?
Beats for girls.
Okay, well I signed us up for class too.
What is it?
Wearing sunglasses inside. It's only one day.
Okay, but if it's a class, like, are we learning how to, or are we just doing it?
I'm not sure I'm not the teacher, okay?
Is it, I wonder if it's this, is it the same teacher?
I don't know, what's your teacher's name?
Motherfucker, if you're nasty.
I thought that was just like a weird, rude thing that the website
I thought so too. But I think that is his legal name.
Well, this will be good. I think we should really try and just like take this year by storm.
Yeah, I really want to get my neurons working, because, you know, as a girl,
As a girl,
It doesn't happen.
it doesn't happen that
Just kind of sucks waiting for people to come in, you know. Think you
Sorry I'm late. I was picking up my 7th award.
Motherfucker,
one-
you nasty, yeah.
Hey, man.
What to say that, well, I'm happy to be here. I have nothing to say. I said it in my speech. You should have heard it. People were wet. From crying! Niagara Falls.
And you said he comes by here every day?
He comes in
Is this the ground that he stood on?
Oh my God. Not another one.
This was Teacher of the Year?
Yeah, I guess.
Apparently, according to him, yeah.
7th year in a row, pretty good.
7 years now?
Fucking yes.
I miss him every day.
Listen, I've never actually had a full conversation with him.
Another thing, I've never seen an award. He just keeps saying he has more of
He
them.
says he deserves free Quiznos for life. This isn't even a Quizno.
It's a Subway.
I've never even seen his face. He's always wearing sunglasses. He's so cool.
Listen.
I will say his style is pretty dope, if I do say so.
Yeah, so I think I'm dropping out of school and I'm just gonna become a SoundCloud rapper.
It's not what your father and I really wanted for you, sweetie. We were hoping you'd become a Quiznos cashier, but
No, that's not what I want to do, Mom. I don't want to join the family business.
this franchise has been open for 100 years.
I know. It was great-grandpa's dream.
I hate to tell you this, sweetie, but your rap is horrible.
That's the point.
There's kids in there.
That's why I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on SoundCloud and be a rapper.
So you're gonna willingly fail and put yourself through misery.
All right, welcome to SoundCloud class. No, you don't have to be good. It just has to be there. You know, it just has to exist online. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, just fucking vibe, man. Just produce that audio. I can do it. Show me. Do I have to? Yep. Signed up for this class. You paid me a lot of money. I'm feeling a little nervous, in front of a legend. Dude, SoundCloud 101. Don't try. Just do. Okay. I guess I have no choice. Yup. And we're just gonna keep doing this until I do it. Yup. We're running out the clock here.
Everybody gather around. I have some exciting news. All right. The hottest inmate on death row this year goes to, drum roll please, Jessica! Now, obviously, since Jessica won, that means she gets to go last. And the rest of you just kind of have to get uglier in front of her. So Jessica, if you want, you can make a little speech.
Congratulations, Jessica.
Thank you.
Bitch.
Hey,
That's why I'm here.
we're in jail, but we respect all genders.
Oh.
This is a mixed gender.
I meant it like the kids say it.
That's what the kids are saying?
I don't know, we're in jail.
Actually, I'm in jail because I didn't respect all genders.
Yeah, there you go.
You can sit down, sir.
I won 9.
No.
I'll take my glasses off.
Oh my God! I've never known what you look like.
I look normal.
That's pretty normal.
You should be on the cover of a magazine or something.
That's what I said.
Did
And then
anyone
they
else hide out in an abandoned building and then steal a bike, or is that just me?
fucking bat boy.
Bad boy!
That's why you're in here?
This whole meeting has gone off the rails. Jessica,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna. You know what? No, Jessica, you're not hottest inmate on death row.
If you give it to him, I'm gonna slip it down that hole again.
I have lots of room for my awards here. So see, this whole side doesn't have anything on it. This one does.
Interesting, we let you keep that coat when you came in here too.
His style was so dope. We had to.
I have contacts inside that let me have some paraphernalia. You want to know what paraphernalia I was able to, besides the coat and the sunglasses and just the cool vibe I bring?
I don't, but I think you're going to tell me. You're going to tell us here.
I got us like a little petting zoo.
Putting the cups out, the party's about to start, putting the cups out.
I know this abandoned party. Abandoned warehouse party is gonna be so great, honey.
Of course it is. I booked this sewer months ago.
And it's so great that it's haunted too. It's gonna be so much better than the last
Careful,
party.
you're getting your boots all wet.
I know. They smell so bad.
Listen, this is a make or break for us, okay? 2022 is our year, okay?
Oh my god, you hired Bad Boy!
Of course I hired Bad Boy. He's so fucking cool.
So fucking cool, man.
See?
Wow.
That's all he says, though.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Listen, okay.
Son, I want you to join the Quiznos business. So fucking cool, man. Just think you'll be great as a cashier in something beautiful ways. So fucking cool, man. Do you know how to say anything else? That's so fucking cool, man.
That's like the best first date ever.
That's so fucking cool.
It's so great. You totally overlooked all of my red flags.
That's so fucking cool, man.
Like that time I punched a guy.
So fucking cool, man.
I've won 11.
First day of school.
Yeah, for you. I've been coming here all summer. It's like extra school.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I know like all the teachers on a second name basis, so if you need to know them, just let me
Okay.
give me a shout.
Yeah, I heard about Mrs. Smith. What's she like?
Oh, Mrs. Smith, hot as hell.
Oh.
Sometimes she'll bend over my table and I get a little funny feeling in my tummy.
Maybe you want to tell a different story about Mrs. Smith. Not a lightly sexual one. All right, if you want to hear a lightly sexual story, applaud. Or if you want to hear a tame story, applaud.
So this bitch, Mrs. Smith, she comes in that cardigan, you know the one.
I'll do it over here.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's got little bears on it, and I know what she's thinking. Those little bears? You're my little bear. She walks over, she hands me a test, and she goes, first one, fresh off the printer. I say, you know I like 'em hot, Mrs. Smith.
Whoa!
Yeah. And she brushes by me. And you know what happens? I feel a little bit of her hip.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
Straight
my
up hip
God.
bone on my shoulder. You can basically say we made it to second base.
This school is,
Badass. Yeah, I know. You want to hear about Mr. Johnson? He's hot as hell, too.
All right, I'm out of prison. Due to a issue of the judicial system, I'm back. Oh no. It's you.
so fucking cool, man!
Easy, Bat Boy. I'm now up to 13 awards.
So fucking cool, man.
I actually won 15, I had to get 2 back. Again, the judicial system. I've been watching your work. That sonic thing that you use to feel your way around, it's actually a pretty cool beat. If you can hear it, but I can hear it.
So fucking cool, man.
Because I'm in tune with audio protection of the earth.
Mr. Motherfucker, for some reason we're letting you out of jail. And you don't get your other 2 awards, but I did bring you a thing of fish. I was told by the judge to give you this.
Well, thank you, nasty girl.
You're welcome. I really wish you wouldn't call me that.
Well, you call me another fucker, and you only call me that if you're nasty. And I know that you're from Dublin.
Yeah. Well,
But, yeah, thank you for the raw fish, which I love to eat.
don't ask me where I got them because I don't know where I got them.
I don't ask. Let me tell you a little story. Do you mind if I touch your shoulder?
Don't rub it.
Yeah, the rubbing. I'm sorry, the rubbing. Yeah, I've been in prison. I shouldn't be touching you. Do you mind if I stand like General Washington, crossing the Potomac? Okay. I met a young boy. He turned out to be a prodigy. Not the internet service from the early 90s, but...
Thank you for clarifying.
I gotta always clarify it because people are like, the internet service? Before CompuServe? No, it was before AOL.
Excuse me, here's an award. Fuck off.
My final award.
And that's our show.
Hello, everybody. All right, and as promised from the very beginning, we finish off our local late night show with a local late night artist, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is a producer. He is a hip hop and R&B artist from right here in Ohio. Please give a round of applause to NAJLS.
First of all, how are all of you doing today?
I want to first, before we get started, I want to let y'all know that I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for y'all to be here with me, for rocking out with all of us. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank y'all so much. The vibes are just tremendous, amazing. So yeah, let's get this thing rolling. You ready? Let's get it. So for those who missed it the first time, my name is NAJLS.
Let's go, buddy! Let's go!
And this one is my intro. It's going to be on my album coming up called Late Lord Look. Through my up and becoming of an MC, I was displeased, kinda left me feeling empty. I was 15 with big hopes and big dreams of ME, like one day taking over the music scene, so I schemed. I felt my rhymes was solid, but were labeled as flimsy, sadness in me. Then I thought upon one plea, I will become a new breed and will succeed way past my peaks, and no one ever will try to resist me. That's when I began to feed my needs to always overachieve. That need turned into greed, cause I did it till I fatigued. See, then I became a beast and I defeated these wicked seeds until my money got super fat. Now it's obese, now I'm doing big things. So fly that it seems I have 6 wings. The album sold me and I'm dropping it after spring. Who thought I'd be 18 with a great scheme? Want the regime with enough bread to run the bakery. And now I stand here on one man's here. Who learned to ban fear from within, left my status in the rear. Now I stand clear from the stress. I was vexed, now I'm pressed on success. So what's next in my career? I shed so many tears. I'm on this room, I'm feeling every track, but they never feeling my songs. I wish to reach the highest peak hip hop has ever known. Self-doubt was my Goliath, and the rap game was my stone. The tower was almost thrown, until I kept fighting. I stole my thunder and lightning and towered over my titans. Now I'm seeing this frightened, the cause of so much crisis, bringing life into lifeless, and all I'm doing is writing. Now it's steady going down, but I'm never nervous. The really perfect urban environment for life beside cause disturbance, frozen verbiage, words encoded in diamonds. Yeah, so we're gonna keep the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? Once again, my EP drops August 2026. Late bloomer. Please, you know what I'm saying? Check that out when it drops, okay? Let's keep the ball rolling, my guy. Yeah. 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 You wanna take a journey with me? Yeah. Let's take a journey. Woo. Okay. Look. Whoa. As I flow down the highway of life, go with the flow till I approach it, cross what I'm like. Well, it's pain on my left, strife on my right. I really want change, but I seem to always pay a price, and I can't help but ask, damn, does it ever end? There were forever severed endeavors, will I ever mend? Look upon my barriers with an elevated chin, waiting on the day I'll be like Aang and make this weather bend, so I can finally see clear what all my tasks have been. It seems that all my success and goals are irrelevant, but that's the negative, because I'm the master of my element. So I'm a metal to my prevalence is evident. Arrogant the way I hold my flow is so realistic. Vividly spitting rhythmic brilliance until you get it. Hardly simplistic because my intentions to further hinder pretensions. But I'm never vexed, I'm too clever through tension. Because I'm too clever through tension. As I free fall into my fears, I chase them just to replace them, to place them into the rear or the past, because I'm here, and they cheer because I'm raw, and I go harder than that metallic ball and or sphere. Best believe I decree before I kick the bucket, I'ma keep it steady, popping like a musket or a drumstick, I'ma blow up. Trumpet, chew it up like bicuspids, then hip hop over. I'm going to spank her on the buttocks. Never will I say bump it or forget it, cause I'm with it, I'm gifted. Plus I'm the sickest with the rhythm and spitting, brilliant in digits. But I ain't going fishing the light, although the dark is vivid in my vision. Like I'm Riddick, I'm a winning. That's a given. Me merely inventing is splendid, renovating the remnants of hip hop until it's replenished. Even then I'll never finish until it, I ascend, cause I'm a drop and I'm gonna make a huge splash in the end. Thank you. Alright, so real quick. How many of y'all have a cell phone? Hands? Alright, cool. So I need a huge favor from each of you. Okay? Can I get a follow from each one of y'all at Instagram? NAJLS_LAUX. I want to connect with each and every one of you. So please give me a follow. I'm going to follow y'all right back. Let's connect. Let's work, okay? Thank you so much for having me, y'all. Thank you. Money life.
Say it one more time. Say your handle one more time.
Oh, in my handle. All right, so one more time. NAHDI_. All right, we'll do it one more time. We'll say it 3 times, okay? All right, whenever y'all ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right, cool. All right. M, as in Mary, AHDI_LAUX. And that's Money Lies in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Let's get y'all. Thank you again so much. Y'all rock and roll at the same time. You know that, right? You know that, right? Yeah.
Let's give it a round of applause for our musical guest, NAJLS. If you didn't get his angle of the third time explanation, don't worry, we will put it on our Facebook page, the Slumberjacks Facebook page. But again, give yourselves a great round of applause. You've been an awesome audience tonight. Thank you all for coming out and supporting so much greatness that we have in our local community. Let's give a round of applause for Kenny Sipes. Next, for Little Coffee. For Technology and Music's Teacher of the Year for 2022, Ryan Van Dimmer. Keep it going for our improv groups, the Slumberjacks, and the Ladies. And another big shout out to NAJLS. Keep it going. I got 2 more special shout outs I'd like to thank our head writer of the monologue, Hannah Romich. Hannah, are you here? please, the man making the most noise behind the scenes, our sound guy, Ben. Give it up for Ben. You all have been a fantastic audience. This has been another Jimmy Late Night Show. We'll let you know when the next one's dropping. See ya.
Let's give a hand for Dan!